Yo, it's me. Sorry I didn't get a video out sooner, especially after how well received the Ogre one was. I actually was real eager to make another video. So I spent a lot of time working on a cabin crawl video, and after about a month in, I came to the realization that it was hot garbage.
I don't want that.
And then after that, I soon found out that all these personalities that I looked up to and idolized became straight up pedophiles and sex offenders, which in return just kind of made me give up on life for a bit. But then something miraculous happened. Like a phoenix from the ashes, he has risen once again to grace us with another pub scrubs. The Lord himself has returned and blessed me with newfound motivation. And well, one thing led to another, and now I just think that bugs are pretty neat.
Nyx 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 Nyx. Boom, bam, bada bop, boom, oops.
Let's get your ass back here!
Hello there.
End? More like, it's the end for you.
Suffer!
Oops.
You're ugly, you are disgusting, I'm gonna kill you, give me $200.
You need help.
I'm waiting for you.
Nyx Assassin.
Nyx.
The ground type Pokemon that is secretly a Dark Souls player, equipped with a 14-second cooldown Ravage, who likes to drink brains and has the only name in Dota where Twitch chat responds with bruh whenever it's even brought up. He has a skill set which makes less sense than hopping into an ability draft game and hitting random for your abilities, yet they can be so impactful that they just work. Recently I've seen a jump in both pick rate and win rate within the hero. Not a chance. Just being done with cabin crawl, I can finally clean my hands and stop playing garbage like Pudge and... So now I can jump back into the warm embrace of my hero puddle and see what the fuss is all about. Also I can yoink me some sweet internet points and show off that new slick set. First up is the unconsensual butt penetration, also known as Impale. This ability is known for being one of the best stuns in the game. It is a ground targeted AoE line stun, which lasts up to 2.6 seconds, or 2.8 with a level 10 talent. Now, the cool part about the sentence, apart from being, well, none of it, is the ability that it's ground targeted, not unit targeted, like those 0 IQ lion pictures. So, not only does it rival the strength of a Ravage, it also pisses Lincolns and it can't be reflected by Lotus Orb or Anti-Mage, just so you can really dick on those Way fanboys that fucking appear in like 50% of your games. So Nyx is a rather rough laner. I'll get into that one later, but Impale is currently his only saving grace. In fact, recently they buffed its damage so it's no longer just hitting someone with a wet sock. Now, however, that sock is real crusty. The 100 damage from Impale allows one of two options. Personally, if I'm position 4 or 5, the harassment is nice and it allows a couple of right clicks in there also. Or, if you're in a core position, it's a nice ability to secure range creeps in lane.
When you try your best but you don't succeed.
One of my favourite abilities in the entire game. It's a parry, it's a counter, it's the coolest shit in the game. The ability to predict what the enemy is going to do and then use that knowledge to just fucking slam sandwich all over them. Oh, just thinking about it is like, oh. So Nyx shoots out like these fucking 6-inch spikes all over his body for 2 seconds, and during that time, any heroes or controlled units that damage Nyx take that amount of damage and get stunned, and also the damage is negated on Nyx. It allows you to pull off some dope ass combos and yoink kills that normally would be hard to secure. Oh, and also you can use that shit during Vendetta, so fuck AoE farmers I guess. However, there's always a but in these videos. See, you gotta be smart with the ability. You can't expect miracles to fly at your butthole because people ain't just gonna hit you for the hell of it. They know that if they make obvious attacks, they'll get stunned and yeeted into the air and die. So there's that, and then you gotta do something weird. You gotta actually look at the instance of damage that they put out. Damage over time, icky, stinky, stay away from me. Big ol' fat dumpster nukes from Zeus, Lena and Skyrap, however.
So good and tasty?
But then you could also consider the argument of damage over time is easier to stun than just straight up predicting nuke animations. Gotta use that brain power, yo. So when I was about 8 years old, I was at school in the playground, and I was sitting next to a bush and like tearing off branches and like plucking off the leaves because I had nothing better to do with my time. And on one of the branches there was a bump, and I went to pick at it with my thumb.
Easy money.
And then it grew fucking legs and fell into my lap. And at that moment, my arachnophobia multiplied tenfold, as I soon found out this thing is what is called an invisible spider. And yes, these things exist, and it creeps me out still thinking about it.
It's not even invisible, but I still put a lie because I will not be able to put a spider in my arm like that.
This is the same stress when you're playing a support or a highly intellectual hero and you're trying to avoid being killed by an invisible arachnid.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, so the dude turns invisible, gains movement speed, bonus pure damage on his next right click, and Ice Frog gave him one of the most uncommon status effects in the entire game, Break. So yeah, way pickers get out. Alright children, we now know what Nyx does. It's taken like 7 minutes, but now it's time to actually grab the reins and figure out how to play this crazy little bug boy. Look at his little mouth. His little mandible mouth. So, I think that Nyx is actually a pretty decent in either mid or off lane, but to keep it simple, let's just throw him in the 4th position. Right, so you're Nyx, you gotta grab some shit for lane. You'll want to go ahead and yoink yourselves 2 sets of tangos and 6 mangoes. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, but that was your starting item for your previous video. Yeah, you're right, but how about fuck you? I don't give a shit. You know what the safest stat during laning phase is? It's health regen, dummy. Remember that part where I said he only had 1 saving grace in lane? Well, I lied. I tricked you. It was an illusion, you. So Nyx currently has the 7th highest base HP regen in the game with 4.3 for some fucking reason. So when you walk in the club like, what up, I got a big cock, arms pumped, got 6 mangoes in the pot, now sitting on that 8 HP regen is going to make your laning phase just that little bit easier. So I kind of shit on Nyx a lot for being a rather weak laner, but his stats actually ain't that bad. In fact, they're actually pretty dope to be honest, all except one major stat. He is a melee hero equipped with noodle arms, a whack-ass 48 base damage. In fact, the 3rd weakest base damage for a melee hero, sitting above Ursa and Broodmother, but tying with Spectre. The problem with this is you're forced to buy Quelling Blade if you're in a core position, and generally your harass is rather dookie. And then if you're paired with another weak harass hero, then you pretty much just lose the lane and the enemy carry gets free farm. So yeah, that's a major issue for Nyx. But then this is the part where we absolutely dumpster the lane with our big brain plays. Not really. Utilizing your regen and cooperating with your partner by setting up stuns into heavy harass is the key to success. Killing an Nyx assassin isn't the easiest, so you shouldn't die a whole lot if you don't choke with Spike Carapace. However, you don't always win your lane with the hero. In fact, just coming out average is actually a pretty decent outcome. Oh, and one last thing. Don't fucking skill mana burn in lane, you fucktard. Yeah, I'm looking at you. That shit costs like 100 mana. You're probably burning your own mana faster than you burn theirs. Jesus Christ, calm down the aggression, John Wick. Oh, looky here, boys, old bug boy over here just hit 6. Now, this is where shit starts to get fun. So, similar to a Shadow Blade, the first use is the most important. You hit 6, use it. It doesn't even matter if you have to go to another lane, use it. You kill somebody. Sentries and general detection is very limited at this stage of the game. You basically can just go anywhere with this thing right now, and you can pretty much kill anything with a helping hand. The hero doesn't farm too well, so if you have to sacrifice some waves, so be it. This hero farms kills and objectives, not creeps. These are a little special when it comes to farming fast. So, it's 20 minutes, you're basically in the mid game. At this point you probably yoinked a couple of kills in the enemy jungle or something, so sentries will start cropping up now, and the enemy jungle is a scary place to be.
No, I don't want that.
So that leaves you with the one place that no one wants, the lanes. And this leaves you with one of two options. You can either stick with your team and force team fights, taking objectives along the way, or if they're playing super passive and no one wants to listen to you, you can actually patrol the lanes, scouting out targets, soaking enemy XP, or just looking for pickoffs on the opposition with the vision you can offer. Then you enter late game. What you do now depends highly on your impact in the game and how your item build is looking. Generally, you're going to be limited on map space, so you can't just walk around invis since it's going to be ward the shit. But that doesn't mean you can't get pickoffs late game. So Nyx has got rather unique level 25 talents that change your activity on the map. He has access to unobstructed pathing on Vendetta, which opens up the map and allows you to spend 90% of your time with your tree friends. You can use this to look for pickoffs or ward. It's a more tactile approach. Or you can take over the role of carry and dip into the agility talent, which improves your farming capabilities so you can close in on those huge items which can close out a game. Speaking of items, what adorable items can we put on our little guy, huh? Dagon? Meteor Hammer? What do I look like, some fucking normie? Nah. I like to experiment with my heroes. Since I went core on a lot of my games, I could do just that. Yours is a perfect Nyx item. It's fantastic. It offers everything that the dude needs. It solves his mana problems, gives movement speed, and allows for an easy setup into stun. I pick this shit up about 80% of my games, and there's not really much to say more about it. It's a beautiful item. Mwah. Delicious. Pizza pasta. Blink and Force is an essential item if you're position 3 or 4, especially if you're taking the role of an initiator. It allows you to line up your Ravage and just really cream over team fights with this. It's also nice if they have a Zeus or a lot of detection in general that really shits on your ability to walk in with Invis. You can just fucking jump at him. Dummy. And then there's E-Blade. This item makes me so hard, man. If you have E-Blade with the agility talent, impale damage and spell amp, oh, you just start fucking swinging dick so hard. Jesus. Just fucking evaporating health bars with this shit.
That's a lot of damage!
Fuck Dagon. That's some beater ass shit. Real chads cover their victims in coom before blasting arse into the next dimension. Alright, then let's U-turn for a sec. Aghanim's. I don't really like it. I mean, like, when you're sieging high ground or defending from high ground, it's actually a very good Aghanim's upgrade. You can just sit there with your dick in your hand, just shooting loads from like 1,000 range away.
I'm a scat man!
Okay.
But the problem is you can't reach the backline with it. The supports, the nukers, the easy kill high priority shit, you know? Because you're immobile. You just go full on trap spider and you just sit there. And I think I have a problem with it just mentally or something, but I think if you're positioned 4 or 5, it's actually a real nice pickup. So those are the 5 items that I mainly wanted to just talk about. Other items that are a nice pickup for your team is also Halberd and Pipe if you're in the off lane. Vessel is always a decent item on an active hero like Nyx, no matter your position. And finally, any proc on hit neutral items are real nice on Nyx. I'm talking shit like Imp Claw, Mindbreaker, and my personal favourite, Enchanted Quiver, since you could just like fart out 800 damage with Vendetta. So there we go. That's the story of the little bug boy that could. And just remember to stay active, stay smart, choose your target wisely, and yeah.